Welcome to Politics Unplugged. I'm Ann Trujillo. Our personal information is all over Facebook and apparently an open book for the political world to see. We're talking 50 million Facebook users' information compromised, and we found out 2 Colorado political firms are now tied to this scandal involving Cambridge Analytica. Cambridge is the company accused of taking private information, including that of Coloradans, through Facebook to help sway the 2016 election. And now it looks as if the 2014 elections here in Colorado may have been influenced by a weaponization of that personal data. Here is Denver 7's Mark Stewart.
Tonight, the connections between Cambridge Analytica and Colorado are growing. Tax records obtained by Denver 7 reveal the nonprofit Centennial Coalition paid the British firm more than $16,000 for website development and consulting. The Centennial Coalition worked to try and unseat Lakewood Democrat Andy Kerr from his state Senate seat in 2014, but failed. It used an anti-Kerr website along with targeted mailers.
It's pretty disturbing.
While Kerr is concerned, we need to stress at this point we do not know if Cambridge Analytica did anything questionable in Colorado.
Knowing that there are these very shadowy groups with foreign connections and very dark political connections nationally is pretty disturbing.
The Centennial Coalition is not alone. Earlier this week, Denver 7 exposed another nonprofit. Concerned Citizens for Colorado paid Cambridge Analytica more than $400,000 during 2014 and 2015 for political consulting. Cambridge Analytica is already under the microscope, accused of taking the private data of millions of Facebook users while under contract with the Trump campaign, but no legal wrongdoing has been proven. The Facebook data, including those posts or pictures you like, was used to create a personality profile about millions of people, information that can be used to target specific political ads to voters.
Steve Bannon had been a vice president of the company, so there are very close connections and links between, the very top level of the Trump campaign and this company.
And the stakes couldn't be higher to control political power in D.C. and at home.
Why politics at the state level in Colorado is being impacted, influenced by these groups with foreign connections. I think for me that's the most disturbing part of it.
And so what are these organizations saying? Well, a former leader of a group tied to Concerned Citizens for Colorado sent us a statement saying he was unaware of the ethical issues. Had that been known, they would have never hired the firm. And in addition, an official with the Centennial Coalition said that group hasn't done anything since 2014 and didn't answer questions directly about Cambridge Analytica. Now, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg admits he failed his customers, Facebook users, during the 2016 presidential election. While talking to CNN, Zuckerberg said his company does not protect your data, then it doesn't deserve to serve you. But the Facebook CEO is promising to make changes.
One of the most important things that I think we need to do here is make sure that we tell everyone whose data was affected by one of these rogue apps, right? And we're going to do that. We're going to build a tool where anyone can go and see if their data was a part of this.
By the way, Zuckerberg says he is happy to testify before Congress about the privacy issues and says he actually welcomes government regulations targeting Facebook. And Blair Miller of the DenverChannel.com has uncovered a whole lot of the information that we've learned about Cambridge Analytica. Joins us now. I know this is an ongoing investigation, but what more do we know about these companies and the reach they had here in Colorado and who's behind them?
Well, it's I guess the overall reach is still sort of hard to find because, finding these companies in the first place was difficult enough. This kind of, it just goes to show of sort of what our political money spending campaign finance system has become, that we have all these companies paying money to other companies, giving grant money to other companies that then use this stuff. And really all of these were tied back to the Senate Majority Fund, which was trying to get Republicans back in control of the Senate in 2014. So, exactly who was tied to what, we know some of the players in some of our reporting, but exactly what they did to for sure influence that election, it kind of remains to be seen. So
there's no real proof that you have found so far that any Colorado races were directly affected?
No, Senator Kerr, he won his election very narrowly that year, and Republicans did take the Senate that year. So you know, Cambridge Analytica said on its website that these victories ultimately gave the GOP control over the state Senate. So they touted that, you know, what they did, what their work was, you know, beneficial in the Senate. But, you know, we had the guy, like you said, with the statement earlier, he came out and said, we would have never hired these people. We don't know, you know, I think they said that the bite was better than the bark, I guess, you know.
Because I think what you're alluding to is that some people said Cambridge Analytica was really just bragging about how much reach they had rather than
right, and
really
we've seen that from other people who have been involved with Cambridge, from other reporters as well, saying, look, you know, this company, a lot of the times people said that, you know, they didn't want to contract with them because they were overcharging for something that, you know, maybe didn't even work, these psychographic analysis. You know, lots of campaigns have done that, but as far as the effectiveness of it hasn't really been proven yet.
Well, and I guess we should also point out that it's clearly not just Republicans who are researching this, Democrats as well. Has there been, you know, on the other side of the aisle, companies that are doing these same things on the Democratic side?
Not that we found in Colorado, but one thing that everybody has pointed to is that the Obama team used similar Facebook data that Cambridge Analytica did. But that all comes back to how Cambridge obtained their data and how Obama did. Obama's advisors saying, look, we used our own app. We were clear about, you know, what information was being scraped from these Facebook users, where Cambridge, the guy who originally gave them their data, had done it for academic purposes, which is where Facebook says that they broke the rules. But as far as any legal ramifications, that kind of remains to be seen, with inquests in the UK and the US seeming coming forward.
Well, bottom line, so many of these races are so tight and so rough that I'm sure people will do just about anything for a race, right?
Right, for sure. And I think that's been part of it, especially in the technological advances we've seen in the past you know, few years, is that everyone's trying to get the leg up in their race and using stuff like Facebook data and other stuff online that, you know, people like you and I don't even necessarily know these companies have. I think that I think any politician who's trying to be tactful would at least look into this stuff.
Absolutely, yes. And really, bottom line is that we need to look into organizations like Facebook, right?
Right.
What we are sharing and what they are doing, because laws haven't really kept up, right?
Right. Both as regular people and as journalists, I think, you know, there's for just all Americans in general, I think they need to be aware that, you know, their data is out there,
it's all
and
out
available,
there.
And pretty much anything you put online can be found by people. But as journalists, I think there's a lot more to do for us in looking into how this data is used, how it's obtained, how it's kept, where it goes. And Facebook's already been sort of under question by a lot of people over the past few years for how it uses its data and how it, you know, messes with sort of those digital systems. So it's going to be an interesting fallout from all this.
I mean, and it truly is a can of worms, because who knows how far this reaches.
Right.
All right, Blair Miller from thedenverchannel.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.